Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Bootstrap Mogul show today. It is November 3rd, and I am so excited to come here today to share some exciting information just all around digital marketing basics. And so, when we're looking at what is digital marketing, why is it important to you as an entrepreneur? And as a owner of a business, whatever size that might be, um, it is critical that you are out there promoting your business on the internet. It's almost like a non-negotiable in today's world. But also, what can you do to build a community? And we tend to get overwhelmed with what is internet marketing? What is the hottest thing that's going on right now? What platform should I be in? Is email still a thing? So today, I'm going to be sharing some really good information on how to go about using social media, using email marketing, and conversational marketing, and all sorts of different types of digital marketing so you can get in touch with your target audience, your target customers, and build a successful modern business and brand. So, in my monologue today, I'm going to be covering um, you know, in speaking about different platforms and which one to be on, I do want to cover uh, called depending on one platform, right? And so, depending on one platform, as many of you guys might have experienced earlier this week, Instagram was having some weird sort of technical difficulties where people were losing their accounts. They weren't getting access. It was just kind of rogue deleting accounts or removing them or restricting access. And as a result, a lot of uh, brands and businesses started to see, and influencers started to see their follower count just start to plummet, right? And continue to, they were losing like hundreds of people, hundreds of followers by the hour. And so what that caused is a lot of anxiety and panic ensued because people were panicking about having all of their followers just start to drop and fall off and no longer have access to them. And what I learned as a result of this, and one of the things that I've learned in my research in digital marketing and also in my experience working in digital marketing, that having a single dependence on a single platform, especially if you don't own that audience, there's a lot of risk associated with that, right? So, for example, with Instagram, people were losing their followers, and had that actually been a real thing or something that could not be reversed, you had been working for often for years to build your following of your audience, and those are the people you depend on to you know buy your products and services, and that's the platform you're using to sell to those people. And within an instant, almost in a flash, that could all be gone, and people's businesses could literally just kind of crumble, right? So there's a lot to learn about what we should be doing to prevent that, to really diversify our digital marketing efforts to reduce like the impact that that could have on us and our businesses, and also what can we do internally to be able to cope and be resilient in the times when something like that might happen, or let's say a platform goes away, or we don't really know the trajectory of these platforms and what they will mean for the communities that we're building on there. And so there are so many other different digital marketing techniques and mechanisms to be able to mitigate when big situations like that could happen, where you are literally losing followers, hundreds of followers, thousands of followers overnight. And if you have a large account, a massive account with thousands or even millions of followers, let's say for some reason your account is deleted or you aren't able to get access, you've now lost access to your entire customer base. And so, by identifying different social media platforms to be on, of course, not overwhelming yourself. I think it's very easy to get overwhelmed by trying to figure out where I should be, what platforms I should be on. Should I be doing email marketing? What about text messages and text message marketing or SMS? And that can cause a lot of stress and overwhelm. But I think it's really identifying the ones that are going to work best for your business and the ones that will be longer term. So there's a difference between what we call borrowed or rented audiences and then audiences that you own, right? And then there's also audiences that you control. So borrowed or rented audiences are those those accounts, those followers, the audiences that are on your social media, that are following your social media accounts, right? You don't own them because Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, whatever platform, Snapchat or Snap, whatever those platforms are, they own that audience because they're the ones that are providing the platform, that are running the accounts and have that contact information. So you're borrowing that audience to communicate with them, but at any point, right, somebody can lose access to their profile, like we learned earlier this week, and or have their account banned, and then you've lost all sort of contact with that person if you don't have any alternatives as to what other ways you can stay in contact with that person or with that potential customer. So using other ways to market, right? If you're doing email marketing, you have that's those are examples of owned audiences because you have access to their email address, you have access to their phone numbers, things that typically last a lot longer, or in today's world in virtual, it's like having a mailing address, right? For somebody in general, those are longer, more stable forms of communication that you can leverage and ensure that you have contact. And so once you have their address, their phone number, you have now built up a list, and that is the most valuable thing in terms of digital marketing that you can have, is a way to maintain consistent longer term contact with those customers, regardless if there's another major crash of a social media platform or one goes away, or there's a brand new one. There are a lot of different digital marketing opportunities there, but the point is, and the story that needs to be told is, don't necessarily put all your eggs in one basket, right? So don't necessarily go and uh, only be on Instagram or only on Facebook. Try to utilize those different borrowed audiences to then convert them to ones that you own. So the best way to do that is through things like calls to action. So you're posting on your social media, you're posting on Instagram, for example, and you have a call to action, a link in your bio that that directs those followers to a place where they can enter their email or phone number or both, and their contact information. Now, that could be something like ordering a product, buying a product right from the platform, or it can be what we commonly see are things like lead generation, sort of what we call lead magnets, which are, you know, uh, reports or discount coupons or whatever it may be, to where you give them some sort of value in exchange for for their contact information, right? So if I go post something and talk about digital marketing, and I want to show my followers, the 5 key components of digital marketing, those are my borrowed audience because I can only communicate to them from the context of my uh, of the platform, right? But if I have them say, "Hey, I just showed you these 5 tips and tricks on this post. Go to the link in my bio, check out a free report that I have," and input your phone number, your email address, your name. I'll send you something, and then you have that for the long term. And so that's really something, and you can actually do that. I do have a a report on the 5 different digital marketing channels. So go check it out on the bio. There'll be some information there. But yeah, so just I think the moral of the story is that uh, you know a- diversifying and trying to be more well-rounded in your digital marketing activities is only going to ensure that you have ways to maintain contact and that you're not depending on just one mechanism to communicate and build an audience and build a customer base. So yeah, that's my monologue. Is just what I've learned in this last week is that again, it's just a lesson and reminder not to depend on a single platform, because just like what happened with Instagram, it can happen any other time to any other platform, and people can, if that was something that was irreversible, people would have actually lost permanently hundreds of thousands of followers, literally like that, right? So anyway, I hope that that's been helpful and useful to kind of think through, how do you diversify and become more well-rounded in your digital marketing channels that you use to maintain contact with your audience and with your customer base. And yeah, we'll see what continues to happen with the platforms and all of that in the future, but make sure to safeguard yourself. All right. So next, I'm going to move on to a list. So the this week's list is, we're really just focused on digital marketing and the foundations and the key channels, right? But you might be saying like, oh, well, digital marketing, why is it important to me? Why should I care? Or maybe you understand that there's an importance, but you're trying to measure the value of that versus some other efforts or activities. So I'm going to share uh, 3 ways that digital marketing strategy can change your business, right? 3 ways that digital marketing can change your business. So the first thing is that it really gives you, and I've got some notes here. Um, it gives you an opportunity to Um, okay. So first, it gives you a sense of direction, right? It gives you a sense of direction, your business a sense of direction. And the way that it does that is when you have a clear digital marketing strategy and understand all of the channels will that you decide to be present on and what the strategy is for each of those channels. Um, it really helps to provide you a clear direction and pathway for how digital marketing is going to benefit and enable your business and take it to the next level. And so, um, when you are developing this sort of a digital marketing strategy and you're figuring out all of these different components, you are going to be setting goals, you're going to be getting to know your audience, and then you're going to also take a look at your overall branding and what your brand looks like visually, and the messaging that you are um, sharing with your that you're creating and getting out there, communicating with your audience and with the world. And so as a result of that, then you have alignment from your brand and what your brand is, the message it's going to convey, which is in alignment with who your target audience is and is in alignment with your overall business goals. So if you're wanting to grow, again, let's say your mailing list, right? That's a goal. Your target audience could be your specific customer and the details around that. And then you're deciding what channels you're going to be on as a result, and what types of content and information you're going to share on each of those channels to drive people to sign up for a weekly newsletter or a lead generation, a lead magnet, something that will where they will exchange their contact information, and you can start building your mailing list. So, of course, that's one of the number one ways that digital marketing strategy can completely transform your business. Next, and just cover this, but it also allows you to get to know your audience better. So, when you have a clear digital marketing strategy, part of that activity is to go and take a look at your ideal customer profile and understand the demographics and psychographics, which are, demographics are things like their gender, their age, um, where they live, those sorts of things. And psychographics are things that, what are they interested in? Uh, what do they like to do for fun? Like those additional things that make them more of a just a human, right? And so when you go and you take a look at your target profile, target customer profile, or your ideal customer profile, which if you don't have one, you should definitely have one because it's going to give you the direction for not only what you post on social media, not only the kinds of emails you're going to send out, but also is your messaging in alignment? Are you giving products, services, and offers that are in alignment with who you want to work with and who you want to help and provide some sort of value to, right? So you really gain a sense of what they're searching for, what content gets more likes, what sort of free digital marketing products are getting their attention, the questions that they're having that you can answer through digital marketing activities or content marketing. There's so many different ways that you can get insight into what matters to them. And a lot of it is going to be as you are executing your, content marketing strategy, for example, or your social media strategy. You're going to be able to understand, okay, how do I refine what I'm putting out there based on the feedback that I'm getting from my target audience. So, it really allows you to get to know your audience better and come up with solutions and products and services and offers that are going to benefit them even more. All right. And then the third and I guess final step here for what provides, how a digital marketing strategy can change your business is that it increases your return on investment, right? It increases your ROI. So having that strategy in place before you start jumping in and just posting stuff or writing emails or trying to just put out lead generation, lead magnet information, by having a digital marketing strategy, you are laying the groundwork and the foundation for your focus. And it's very important, especially when you are on, social media platforms or you're doing some form of content marketing, um, or maybe you're doing some search engine optimization, you're writing some blog posts. By understanding your audience, by having that strategy in place to say, okay, we will do this type of content. These are the types of keywords we will target when we write blog posts. So that way we can be found by our customers. You understand what your customers are searching for on Google, so you can align your content to that. There are so many benefits for having a strategy in place before you are actually executing. And so if you take a little bit of time to put that digital marketing strategy together, then it allows you to um, just be out there and be uh, very intentional. And as a result of that, you should see better returns on the investment of time and money and content that you're putting out there, as a result of knowing so much information about where your audience is and how to best reach them online. All right. So those are the three key benefits of digital marketing and digital marketing strategy, doing that activity before, that is going to give you value for your business and really transform it and take it to the next level, right? There's businesses that are just digital marketing centric and they have strong strategies behind it, and they are multi-million or multi-billion dollar businesses, right? So in today's world, digital marketing is really the enabler and the driver for whether or not a business is going to be successful and is going to continue um, to last for years to come. All right. Okay. So next is I'm going to cover a lesson. In this lesson, I'm going to talk about now that we've talked about the importance of why you should have diversified marketing channels. You should be using different channels, right? So you're not putting all your eggs in one basket, like they say. And then also now you know the top three benefits of why a digital marketing strategy is important to do before you start going out there. I'm going to share with you the 5 types of digital marketing strategies and channels that you can use for your business. Okay, so I've got my little notes here as well. But the first thing that is critical to or is a good solid digital marketing channel that's been around probably the longest is SEO, or search engine optimization. Okay. So SEO is really a set of practices and tactics that if you implement them correctly, you will actually improve the position of your web pages in your search results. And the reason why that's important and critical is because, as you know, and you think about your context as a consumer, when you go and you Google something, are you actually going to the 6th, 7th, 10th, 15th page of results to find what you're looking for? Most likely not, right? You're looking at just the first page of search engine results, or SERPs, like they call them, uh, before it, before you click on one of them and start going off and trying to find an answer to your question or trying to find a product to buy. So SEO helps to position your content to be higher ranking, so hopefully it gets to those top pages or that top page regarding the topic that your customer is looking for, because then as a result it's going to increase the likelihood that they're going to be able to find your content, go to it, learn about your business and your brand and what you have to offer and how it aligns to what their question is or what they are trying to solve. So search engine optimization gives you that. Now, there are 2 types of SEO. The first one is organic SEO, and the other one is paid SEO. Paid SEO is also known as search engine marketing, right? Because you're paying to have it's it's more advertising on the search engines versus search engine organic SEO is where you are gathering where you are doing keyword searches, understanding how to write content that your audience is interested in, and so as a result then you are able to kind of they're able to find you because the search crawlers, the things that go and look on the web to index all of that information, they're able to find it. So improving your rank and search engine results includes things like keyword research and targeting, um, on page optimization. So these are things like, uh, it's a little more technical, I guess, if you haven't done it before, but it's more around. There's like metadata, so there's it's data about data, and so there's things like your title, things that you tag, what they call meta descriptions, which is like a snippet of information about describing the information on that page, the content of the of the page itself, the URL. If you're including keywords in the URL related to the topic that you are teaching or talking or covering on that page, it increases the likelihood that they're going to find it. And then images. So images are incredibly valuable when it comes from an SEO standpoint. The best way to do that is incorporate images, incorporate video, and then there's what's known as alt text or alternative text. And this is typically for like accessibility purposes. So it helps, I believe they're called like readers. So if somebody is unable to read content, but they can listen to it, it crawls, right, and it reads out all of the information on that page. And so when it gets to an image, it uses that alt text to describe what the image is about. And so if you have like an image, let's say you're selling a specific product. Um, I don't know, maybe you're selling something related to the holidays, right? You're selling some sort of uh, I don't know, food product like let's say like a popcorn, uh, like variety of popcorn that you can buy for Christmas that people get in like those tins, right? So you can have a picture of your popcorn tins and you can put in the alt text. Let's say you've got like three different types of popcorn in that specific photo. You can write, butter popcorn, caramel popcorn, and um, kettle popcorn. And then as a result, if somebody is searching for, I want some a popcorn, popcorn tins, holiday popcorn tins that have caramel popcorn, because you put that in the alt text describing that image, it increases, then the crawlers are reading that alt text and then are ranking your content higher because you're further describing the information and not just the page itself and the post or whatever you have, but it's you're describing like the additional things that you're providing context for. So there's things like that, internal linking. So search engine crawlers, they work by following, they call them following links. So they'll load a page, right? It'll go through and categorize the content and crawl it and index it. And then anything that has a link, it will access that link and then go off to the next page and start crawling that, right? So one of the benefits for that is that it's crawling your site and then you're giving it the ability to, with links, to then go explore other parts of your site and index it, so it doesn't just stop at that page. So internal linking is another example. Performing a site audit or identifying SEO issues and then making changes. So you know identifying those common SEO issues, and then, for example, page speed is a huge thing. So if your pages are loading slow or much slower than is expected, then you're not going to rank as high because the thing that the search engines are doing is they're primarily focused on the experience that the searcher is having. So if you have content and your pages are loading really slowly, it's not going to give you it doesn't give that search person or that user a good experience, and so as a result the search engines will rank it low. So those things like that. Mobile friendliness, is your content adaptive for different screens? And then backlinking, which are inbound links from other websites. So this is a big strategy that a lot of people do, is they will either partner with some other website owner or uh, whichever, to help with their SEO. And what they will do is they will say, oh, like, there's a specific topic, again, let's say holiday popcorn. You might partner with somebody who writes a top 10 list of best holiday popcorn, and what they do is they link off to your site or a specific page, maybe your product page, where they're talking about your specific holiday popcorn. And so as a result of that, that's a backlink because it's a link from another site to yours. So again, when the crawler goes through and is reading that top 10 list, it then clicks on that link and goes to your page and then starts indexing it. And so it creates a contextual link between the content it was crawling and your content. So backlinking is another thing. Next is paid SEO or SEM, search engine marketing. And so this relates to paying for searches to get a more prominent spot. So like you'll see on the search engine result pages or SERPs, you'll see you typically see at the top ads, right? A couple of ads and they're marked, and then you see like the results, your top 10 results that are listed there, and you might see some like ads on the right hand side. So paid SEO or paid SEM is where you are paying the search engine to surface your content to those ad sections using those keywords. So you're saying, okay, um, if I want to go and promote my holiday popcorn tins, like I'm going to pay for that keyword. And based on the results and others who are paying for that same keyword, when someone goes and searches for holiday popcorn cans or tins or just holiday popcorn, let's say, then as a result, uh, your search, your link will surface to the top and show as an ad that people can then click on, and then you pay for that click each time. And so you use keywords to do that. So again, those are things like pay-per-click ads. Maybe you have Google Shopping ads or local services ads where you're based on the context if you're a local brick and mortar store. You can pay to have ads displayed that are local. So a lot of restaurants do this, right? If you go on Google Maps and you search for restaurants near me or best brunch places near me, if you pay for those keywords in the local services service, then as on those search results in Google Maps, you'll see the ad that says your business has brunch, right? And so then people see that and access that information. So so how do you know if SEO is right for you? Well, the thing is that SEO is one of those areas that has been long standing. It's one of the most effective ways. The thing is that so it's almost inevitable that you are going to do SEO and that you're going to use SEO. But when it comes to using that, I mean, if you always have to think about it from a consumer standpoint, right? You as a consumer, and someone who buys or searches for products online, you know that search engines are one of the most beneficial ways because if you use them yourself, right? So if you are looking for a product, whether or not it's or you have a question whether or not it's related to your business or just a personal matter, you are going and searching for it, and then you're scrolling through those results to find the answer. So thinking about it from the context of your customer, they're most likely doing the same thing. So you want to make sure that you are placing yourself in front of them and ranking for that. So the benefits are really just so significant to overlook. The only thing you have to think about is that um, some of the benefits are it's cost effective and it boosts traffic. It's free. You are able to optimize for the exception of paid SEO or SEM. It's free to do. You can write content and have keywords and mark all of that stuff for free that the crawler will then go and crawl for free, right? It generates higher quality leads and it builds authority in your area because people are actively looking for that information. And so that means that they're higher quality because they're most likely to take action. They're most um, they're already sort of primed to go make purchases, right? They're ready to go spend. And so as a result of that, you have higher quality leads, and it also puts you at the forefront because people view anyone, right, that's on the top, ranked at the top, as someone who has authority in that area. Um, so, s- and then from the paid SEM perspective, it gives you all of the benefits of SEO, but immediately, right? Because you're putting some money behind it. So the search engines are pushing and making a concerted effort to put your content at the top based on the keywords. And so one of the things between organic and paid is organic typically is a longer term investment. You may not see immediate results. You may see it a few weeks, a few months, even years down the road, but those are longer standing results versus things that are give you immediate results, but they typically don't last very long. For example, making a post. All right. Okay. So that's SEO. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one, which is content marketing. Now, content marketing is really around planning, creating, and publishing content around the topics and keywords. And so this is really like when you're posting specific or you're sharing specific content um, that is answering a question or a problem. I shared this last week, right? You're answering a question, solving a question, answering, or solving a problem, answering a question. And as a result, then you start to build authority and you start to, people start to look to you for advice or information specific to that topic. So, in addition to writing, you can also create content like videos, infographics. You can do podcasts, blog posts. There's all sorts of different types of content that you can create to share with your audience. And videos, short form videos are a really hot content type because people are consuming videos and content and in very short forms. So uh, you know by doing that, you're able um, to share that content, and the content usually is not it's not specific to trying to sell them on something. The content is something that typically has answers or creates conversation around your product or service or offer, but it's not explicitly talking about your offer, right? So you're typically writing content or developing videos or whatever types of you have a podcast around the topic, right? But as a result, then you have some sort of call to action, right, that people are using to go to your page. So how do you know if content marketing is right for your business? Well, it gives you the opportunity to connect with your audience, and it also becomes a source of knowledge, and you can attract your ideal customers while being cost effective. Because again, it's similar to SEO in that it's free to do, free to create content, or rather low cost. You can typically put out content for without having to spend tons of money. But it can be time consuming. So you're trading the cost for the the time, but it's going to take you some time, and it takes a lot of time typically, right? It has to attract your audience and motivate them, and then convince them to stick around. And it does take a while to produce results. So this is another one that's um, a longer term investment like SEO, organic SEO is where you're consistently putting content out there and you may not see the results of those efforts immediately, but it does give you those results. All right. Next, and this is obviously the most popular kind of digital marketing is social media marketing, right? Social media marketing is obviously all the craze in this past decade and is only growing in uh, in popularity. So social media marketing is really developing a strategy for how you're going to present your brand and show up on the social media platforms. This is also deciding what types or which platforms your audience is gathering in, right? Or congregating on, and being intentional about you're only going to be on those specific platforms versus saying, I need to be on every single platform because then I won't miss my audience. Typically, you want to focus on specific ones. So, social media marketing helps you um, to do that. So some of the benefits or common techniques for social media marketing is that you're consistently publishing valuable content in the form of things like posts, stories, lives, reels, videos, TikToks on your audience's preferred social media channels. And you're regularly engaging with the followers in your comment section, or as people are engaging with your content and sharing it, the point is that you're having a conversation on these platforms with them, and with your community. And so social media platforms are awesome places to build community around a brand, and that's why they are so successful, is because you're posting content that's related to your customer or your target audience, and things that they're interested in, or reasons why they might be interested in your specific business, and using that to have a community on the platforms regarding around that niche. And then it's not just posting the content, it's then, if you're getting comments or you're getting messages or things like that, that you're turning around and you're engaging with your audience. And so it's a two-way street. And the content that you're posting, or the stories, or whichever, those are giving you the best value. Those are really just the start of social media marketing. The rest of it is really around how do you engage with your audience. Okay. And it also helps you to join groups, if there's group functionality. So Facebook is a good one. Instagram is coming out with a groups feature. There's also, if you're on um, some of the forums, you can see that sort of, where you have groups there, and you can join groups related to your niche. And that's a perfect place where your target customer or target audience is already congregating. And so you're not trying to create traffic, you're just going to where the traffic already is. You can also use things like social media advertising to extend the reach beyond who your current followers are, or whoever's finding you through various means, right, of search or hashtags. And so the difference between SEO and social media advertising is that SEO is based around keywords, text, right, things that people are actively searching for. So it's the keywords, the those specific set of words that you have that people are searching for, and as a result of that, it matches content with the keyword or the search term. For social media advertising, this is really focused around audiences. So this is where you're taking a look at your ideal customer profile, and you are inputting information about their uh, you're putting information about their audience. And so when the difference between SEO and social media marketing is that SEO is focused on keywords, and digital social media advertising is focused on characteristics of your audience. And so when you put in all the information, the social media platforms have gathered the characteristics of those people based on what they share in their platform, on their profiles, or typical things that they engage with on the platforms. And then as a result, it targets them and it puts those ads in front of them on the feeds of their content, so that way, they're targeting that specific audience. And so as a result of that, you can reach people that align to your ideal customer profile. Now, so social media ad formats include things like image ads and video ads. And there's also things like carousel ads, which are it really depends on the type of ad that you're running, but where, you have the carousel and you can look at multiple types of content. Promoted posts where you are promoting a post that you just have. So some sort of content that you've shared already, you're just promoting it, you're boosting it. So you can find more people that are interested in that specific topic. Or sponsored content, which is, paying for specific, influencer marketing, things like that. So, how do you know if social media marketing is right for your business? Well, social media marketing has a lot of advantages. First, it gives you the opportunity to connect and engage with your audience. Um, and you're engaged with your current customers, right? We just mentioned that as something that it's community based. You can also compile valuable customer data because there's so many insights into social media marketing and the information and the data that's gathered, that you can see information like, okay, if my target audience is of a certain age range, am I attracting that sort of age range, that sort of demographic with my content? And so it allows you to validate that the content you're putting out there is in alignment with who your target customer is. And if it's not, right, then you can take a step back and understand, okay, why is my content maybe resonating with a different audience? Or you can also find ways where you're like, okay, this my content is resonating with my target audience, but I'm also seeing another demographic that's interested. And so then you can identify, okay, how do I include that demographic in my ideal customer profile? So here are the questions to ask yourself. First, which platforms are you going to focus on? And then how much time are you going to dedicate to each platform? That's critical because you want to make sure that you are consistently showing up on the platforms, and you're showing up on the ones that are where your target audience or customer is most available, right? So those are things that you want to ask yourself. Now, again, it can be time consuming, it's constantly evolving, and it gives you limited control over the content because there's a lot of content governance, there's rules and standards, right? And then, of course, some of the access to your customers, like we were saying in the monologue, is that you can lose your customers overnight because you don't own that audience. All right. Tactic number 4 is around email marketing. Email marketing is still one of, no matter what you may hear people say that email marketing is dead or is a thing of the past, it still is one of the most effective and popular marketing tactics that you can use in your business. And so, what you typically do is when there's different types of email marketing, but in general, when somebody signs up for, let's say, your lead magnet, you have a sequence, a series of emails that get sent out to them over, a span of a few days, where you are um, where you are engaging with your audience, with that person that gave you their email address. You're giving them more value, it's continued value. And as a result of that, it really warms up your audience to then, you can place an offer in front of them, and it increases the likelihood that they're gonna act on that offer. And so there's things like that where if you have a well-planned email series, it's really going to work wonders for your business because you are establishing an ongoing relationship with your customer, right? There's also things like email newsletters where every single week you're sending out some sort of content or information related to that topic. So again, you're maintaining that relationship, and you continue to put yourself as at the forefront of an expert in that field. And then, of course, there's things like transactional emails, like invoices, reminders, things like that. So the email series, when you first set it up, it typically is the delivery of the digital product that you are sharing. You have some sort of welcome, and then you have the series is then providing valuable information, and is related to the product or offer that you're going to put in front of them. So how do you know if email marketing is right for your business? Well, there's many benefits. So of course it's personal. You're creating and establishing relationships with people. You can keep in touch with prospects and customers. So you have their email address, which is something that is more consistent, more long-standing than a social media profile. So, when Instagram goes down the next time, or TikTok or Facebook or Twitter, you then already have access to you've already gotten their email address. And so whether or not you lose them for good on the platform or it's temporary, you can still keep having the conversation and building your list. So I cannot stress this enough. Build your list, start getting that contact information, and start to establish those relationships. So you can really convert those leads into buyers. And the best thing of it all, it's all automated. So it's a one and done sort of thing. You set it up and you let it go. So you write your copy for your 5 or 6 emails in that series. You set it up, and then anytime somebody gives you their email address to that specific lead magnet, it triggers that and it just sends out the emails for you, and it helps you to really build a relationship with your audience, without having to do it manually. So there are some negatives. For example, spam and undelivered emails. Typically, your email that you send them might end up in their spam file or their spam folder. The best way to the best techniques to do to prevent that is, when somebody signs up for your lead magnet, in the confirmation page, you say, please add this email address to your contacts. So that way it doesn't end up in spam. The other thing is you're having more of a conversation. You're asking them questions, which then results in them responding to that email. So let's say it went into your spam folder. They found it, they read it, and you ask them an engaging question that they can respond to, then it no longer goes into their spam typically because they have engaged with you. It does require content that's designed to convert, and building an email list can be really challenging. But again, once you build that email list and you take it to, you're able to provide that value and build that relationship, it's much longer. It's more stable than just putting content out on social media. So, all right. And the fifth and final one, so this has been a long lesson. The fifth and final one is conversational marketing. And um, this is one of the ones that conversational marketing has been around since the dawn of marketing, but conversational marketing in the digital marketing space is a little different, because it's really around things like chatbots, for example, where things are happening in more real time, right? So it's not like I send you an email, wait for your response, then you reply, or I send you an email, we wait a day, we send you another one, or wait till you get on the social media platforms. It's usually, an active thing where if you have like a chatbot who is engaging with your customer or helping them with something, that's usually a real-time interaction. SMS is another one. You are texting them, and while it's similar to email, the open rates for SMS messages are much higher than they are with email, particularly because that's a new trend in digital marketing, that's come up, is texting or having some sort of number that your audience can text you, and you're giving that real time conversation. And the next one is instant or direct messaging, where you're messaging them back and forth, um, on the platform. And so, conversational marketing can really help you to boost your website conversions because have you ever been like to a website and as you're scrolling, you see that little pop up of a chat like, how can I help? The thing is that that helps because it's kind of like when you're in a brick and mortar and somebody walks into your store and is browsing, and you approach them and say, hey, is there anything I can help you with? Here's some information on a sale that's going on. And so simulating that virtually in your online store can help to increase the conversions of when people visit your site. And it really accelerates the buyer's journey because they're having to do less of their own research and exploration of your site or the content, because you're answering the questions that they have right then and there. So it's very much like just the virtual uh, metaverse version of brick and mortar. And it frees up your time, and it caters to a younger audience. So if you are targeting Gen Z or millennials, typically you're going to see that this conversational marketing is something that they prefer and is a way that you can connect with them. So, conversational marketing has a ton of benefits. It allows you to cultivate relationships and improve your customer experience. It removes roadblocks to purchases, again, things that they might be struggling to find. But it does come with some negatives. So, the tech can create frustration with customers, right? So, maybe your chatbot isn't always working, or it could remove sort of that human experience if you're not like on the phone with them or in person. And there are just too many ways to communicate, can often be confusing. So, again, for example, if you are using some sort of direct messaging on a social media platform, you're engaging with them on a post that you put, and then you're also reaching out to them on the DMs. Like, it can be confusing and kind of overwhelming for people. All right. So, in conclusion, a digital marketing strategy is critical to your success in building a business in the modern world. It's you should really figure out how to dig deeper into each of those tactics and learn more about the techniques that are involved. Because a digital marketing strategy is essential to having a successful business in the future. And so, if you're interested in learning more, I'm going to be doing. Feel free to sign up for the free report that I provide. The link will be in my bio, wherever you're watching this, and it will walk you through in more detail all of these different channels of marketing. And then within the coming days, coming weeks, I'm going to be providing a more detailed free training for each of these areas, and figuring out how I can help you further with digital marketing, and helping that to grow your business, take it to the next level, scale it, whatever your goals are for your business, to help you in digital marketing. And so feel free to reach out, send me a DM, send me an email, or anything like that. Um, and if you have any questions or would like any additional information or help, definitely happy to help with this as always. And so, with that said, we are about at an hour of time within our training today. And so I really appreciate you all who have joined. If you're watching some form of replay of this, I really appreciate you taking the time to. Time is the most valuable asset to everybody. And so I appreciate you using and spending some of that time with me, to learn more about the 5 critical marketing channels. And I look forward to talking to you all soon and talking to you next week. Thanks, everyone.